for taking you on our honeymoon, which was a train ride across the USA. We went from Louisiana to Los Angeles, California, then up to Portland, Oregon, and over to Chicago, Illinois.
On this train. I'll try to give you as much information as I have. As soon as we get an updated or update information, I will let you know.
Alright, so we were just told that there is now a 5-hour delay. It is 7 a.m. and we have been in San Antonio, Texas for way too long. Luckily for us, our destination is LAX and we don't have to catch anything connecting. And on the bright side, we're not going to be showing up at 5 a.m. But 5 extra hours on the train is not going to be fun.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, when you are actively eating, that means you are actively eating and drinking. Having a coffee on the table or on your food tray in your coach is not actively eating or drinking. Again, I understand that we are 5.5 hours late or 5 hours late. Rules still apply. Everybody still needs to watch your step, use the handrails. Everybody still has to have their shoes on. Everybody still has to have that facial covering on.
I didn't know that was a rule with the shoes. Anyway, I just want to catch that 5 hours late again over the intercom.
Cleared up and out of our way. Either those containers fill up their freight train because of the high wind and the thunderstorm.
Oh dang!
They've been working since about 5 this morning.
Yeah.
They have moved 2 of them out of the way. 2 out of 6.
Wow. 2 out of 6 and it took 5 hours for that?
They are not
buddy.
going to let us leave San Antonio. The ETA to leave out of San Antonio is right now 9:45 a.m.
Ooh, another 2 hours.
It's 10 minutes to 8. So right now at 9:45 they will give us another update.
Lovely.
The decision to stay here at the depot was the best decision so that all the doors can be open, passengers can walk the platform, get some fresh air, stretch your legs, smoke a cigarette, versus close up and leave and be stuck in the middle of nowhere. It is too early for Maricopa time, Tucson time, LA time. It's really even too early for an El Paso time.
We're not even like a little bit across that.
I know. Oh man.
Once we leave San Antonio, we'll be able to give you some kind of ETA into Del Rio, Alpine, then El Paso. Any further from El Paso, again, it is too early to give you those times or those ETAs.
So since we will be stuck here for another 2 hours, we think we're gonna go look for breakfast off the train.
I look out sea. We don't know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind. From Reapers Ford to Watertown, and maybe Johnson City or Memphis bound. No matter where I go, no matter what I see, I still hear the calling of Tennessee. And who we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow.
When you don't have a room and there's a little lounge. Gross. They have cups in here like it's safe to drink or something.
I miss the smoke on the Cumberland and the fireflies at midnight and the color of the leaves in the fall. Who are we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow? The sun's gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on. Yeah, I've still got Tennessee on my mind. Yeah.
So we're about to hop off the train. Yeah, let me carry that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the new crew is on board. We're just about to depart. Next stop is our final stop.
Yo, fuck Amtrak.
Yeah. Bro, me too. And just as we get off, they take off. Bye.
The 10 would have been quicker. Fuck this mask.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking Amtrak.
So, after 12 hours, just drop it. It blew away. Okay, after 12 hours of delays, we got tired. You okay?
Yeah.
Sorry. We got tired of waiting. We got tired of the delays. They were just more and more delays. They kept adding up because the train wasn't on time and all the cargo trains were in the way.
He's 25 minutes from us.
It was a mess. So we actually hopped off the train because where we are right now is closer to his brother's house.
Then Los Angeles
Then
would have
Los-
been him.
then
We would have
Los
got to
Angeles
Los
would have been-
Angeles at 5 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. It's 3:45. We would have got to Los Angeles downtown Los Angeles at 5 o'clock.
Would have been ridiculous.
Would have been. It's an hour and a half back to Johnny's house without traffic, without 5 o'clock traffic. Fuck Amtrak.
Yeah.
I asked the lady, because we were sitting, we're still 30 minutes from downtown, and we weren't moving. Freight trains have the right of way, and since we're here so late in the day,
We were supposed to arrive here. Well, we were supposed to arrive in Los Angeles at 5 a.m. It is nearly 5 p.m.
I asked if we could get off the train where the train sat, and they both looked at me funny and said no. And then I asked if they would close the doors behind me if I got off the train, and they
Said look both ways
they
before
said
crossing.
look both ways before you cross the tracks.
And we did, and we here.
The next morning, we went out to breakfast, and Johnny took us on a little trip to see his extended family on his dad's side. Their mom's side of the family lives back in Louisiana, where we're from. It actually turned out to be a surprise baby reveal. Everyone was told it was a barbecue. We spent the next couple of days in Los Angeles just hanging out with Eli's brother Johnny and his wife Brenda. We had some fun go-karting and even took part in some of the local recreational activities. I'd have to say my favorite part is the vegetarian and vegan food options that were available. After spending a couple of days in Los Angeles, it was time to catch our next train. It was our first time actually seeing LAX because we hopped off the train before it actually arrived. This ride was called the California Zephyr. It was one of the most beautiful rides with the ocean on the left and mountains on the right. Unfortunately, it was our shortest ride as it only crossed California and brought us into Oregon. This ride also had plenty of delays. We had a lot of fun exploring the city that weekend. We spent one day at the Rose Park. The roses weren't blooming yet, but it was still nice to walk around in nature and hang out with each other. The last day we did a couple of touristy things, and you can see here that Eli is carrying all our bags. We had checkout hours before the train departed. We later learned how to solve this issue.
This was the Homer. That was the old dirty bastard. That was a lemon sunshine. And Eli doesn't know his damn donuts.
The donuts were 4 out of 10. You really can't go wrong with putting a ton of sugary goodness on top. Train ride from Portland, Oregon over to Chicago, Illinois was beautiful at first with all the mountains. Eventually we hit fields around Montana and the scenery got a little boring. We had this cab mostly to ourselves, and Eli slept a lot during this ride.
Once the second freight train goes by us, we'll be on the news. I unfortunately have no idea how long that will be. I'm just a coach attendant. I do not have a radio. I don't have access to that information. But I wanted to let you know what I did know.
I don't know where your phone is, baby.
Alright, so the first one's gone by. We gotta wait for one more and then we should be on the move. Again, we apologize for this delay and we thank you for your patience.
My great uncle knew a lot about the architecture of many of these beautiful buildings. He had practically watched this city grow as he has lived here all of his 76 years of life. We ended up having the shortest time in Chicago because we decided to pick up a job. Our boss agreed to fly us out from a large city, Chicago, and put our returning flight as back home in Louisiana.
This thing for about 20 years was a par 3 golf course, and I was told that someday, you know, not only the park, but included the area where the buildings are as well. And I was told someday there's going to be a park with buildings around it. And I said, oh, couldn't possibly happen. But I lived long enough, and they got their plans done, and that's what it is.
They did.
They did it.
My favorite part about uptown Chicago was definitely how accessible everything was. You could walk, you could easily take the bus. My great uncle even had this subscription where you could pick up a car. And yes, of course, we stopped by the Cloud Gate. It was a socially distanced bean when we went, but I think since then the gates have been taken down. And I almost forgot. Also here that we learned from my uncle that there are a lot of businesses that will hold your bags for you, including the hotel we stayed in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Our normal content is tiny home tours and our Skoolie conversion. And we'll see you next week.